What's good, y'all? It's your boy BioSpider 3.0, keeping the action going with the SH Figuarts Hurricane Red figure, aka the Red Wind Ranger from Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Very excited for this review, guys. Long overdue. I got this guy like back in October, so this review should have came out months ago, but I've just been so busy, had a lot going on, but finally got to it. I'm actually supposed to let the seller know when I drop this video, so I'm gonna be sending him the link right after I finish this. But yeah, shout outs to PVJ Collectibles on Macari for selling me this figure. Got it at a really good price, especially for a SH Figuarts figure. Being in like an older one, definitely got this for a really solid price. And he was a great seller, very friendly, great communication, and he really helped me secure this guy for, again, a very good price. So I'm very, very happy. So on the front of the package here, we got Hurricane Red. Side corner, we've got Bandai, Tamashii Nations, Bandai made in China. And then this is, of course, the Japanese version. One thing about me is, like, especially with the Power Rangers / Super Sentai figures, when it comes to SH Figuarts, I'm usually going to go for the Japanese versions over the American releases. There was an American release of this guy, and on the front it said Red Wind Ranger instead of Hurricane Red. So he just comes with slightly less accessories than this one. But yeah, I tend to go for the Japanese versions when I have the chance, because the Japanese versions tend to have a little more included. Things that are in the Sentai that don't show up in the American, TV shows. So I always like to get the Japanese versions. And just because, being that it's a Japanese character, I just prefer to get the Japanese versions. They tend to put a lot of care into these type of figures. I think honestly the Power Rangers figures are probably some of SHF's strongest figures for sure. They always nail the Power Rangers. But yeah, so here's the front of the packaging. On the side, we've got that same SHF quote that they like to put on all these boxes. We've seen it plenty of times now with the Go Ranger figures and the Dragon Ranger. On the back, we got some dope product shots of our boy, looking very, very cool. And you can see it's got like a bonus part. This is like something that comes only with this version, not the American version, so I'm looking forward to that. And we got some Japanese on the bottom there. This on this side, pretty much the same thing, the quote, and you can see Hurricane Red. Kind of probably can't really see it, but it is on the side of the package. It says Hurricane Red again. Got the Hawk logo, and at the bottom got all this good stuff, barcode at the top, SH Figuarts, and not much more. So let's get right into it, man. Super excited for this one. And rest in power to Mr. Pua Magasiva, the Red Wind Ranger, that we all know and love. Us Power Ranger fans that watch Ninja Storm, we all know and love Mr. Pua Magasiva. RIP, man. He was honestly one of my favorite Red Rangers of all time. Like, definitely top 3. I loved him. He was one of my absolute favorites. I actually was him for, the Red Ranger, for Halloween one year. Back when, Spirit Halloween used to send out catalogs, Halloween catalogs, and I remember I used to always be so excited for those. Checking the mail around Halloween time to see if I got a new, magazine or a catalog for Spirit costumes. And I remember they used to have like a lot of the Power Rangers Ninja Storm costumes in there. I remember one year they had the Red Ranger and the Crimson Thunder Ranger costume, and I wanted to be the Red Ranger really bad, and I finally was able to get it. My parents got that costume for me, and it was really awesome. Obviously being a kid's costume, it was like they had like the buff type of pattern going, so I was all buffed out, but it still was a really fun time being able to be the Red Ranger for Halloween. Very, very fun, good year. But anyways, yeah, here we have Mr. Red Wind Ranger right out of the packaging, looking amazing. All right, so just to give you a quick look at his aesthetics, very, very good. Obviously, SHF nails the paint every time when it comes to these figures. So here's a quick look at the back. But yeah, very, very nice. First thoughts, out of the packaging, looking very good. So I'm going to set him aside for just a moment, and we will get into accessories and all that good stuff. So he comes with mini hands, and I'm actually missing one of his alternate hands. I actually did notice it before it came to me, and I pointed it out to the seller, and he made, he let me know that he was unaware of that. But I told him, I was like, it's fine, dude. Like if he's not able to find it, it's honestly just one hand, and I'm probably not even gonna use most of these hands. I'm not gonna be swapping out hands all that much unless I'm like maybe taking pictures or something like that. So I told him it was no big deal. So just to let y'all know, I am missing one of the alternate hands, but it's, yeah, like I said, it's no big deal. So we've got several pairs of hands here. We'll start with these two, or one. I'll just show you one of them since they're pretty much the same. We have kind of like a gripping hand, probably for his sword, his ninja sword slash Hayate Maru. I think that's how you say it, Hayate Maru. That is the Sentai version of his ninja sword. But yeah, we've got one of his gripping hands for that, very nicely painted. So we got this nice small little gripping hand. We get two of those, and then we get another pair of hands. We get this kind of open, like a semi-open hand, almost like he's got his fingers kind of put together, but he's curling them slightly. I think this is for mostly like a style pose type of hand. It's definitely not to grip anything, but it definitely looks like some kind of style pose or something that you can put him in. So we get one like that. And then on the other side of that pair, we get, see if I can get it out of the packaging. A little tricky here. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and, all right, there we go. Let me go ahead and pop this out. There we go. We get one of these hands. It's a, this looks to be the gripping hand for his Hawk Blaster slash dry gun from the Sentai. But yeah, very, very cool. We get a nice trigger finger hand for the Hawk Blaster and dry gun. Very nice. All right. So put those back. Put this one back here. And that one there. We get two bunny ears hands, or ninja. I like to call these bunny ears, but we get the ninja pose hands. These are very iconic throughout the show. They use these a lot when they're doing certain ninja moves, like the little ninja screen or like a smoke screen. When they disappear, they tend to do this move. They put their hands up like this before they throw the smoke and disappear. So very, very cool. Very nice style pose hand there. And then we get another kind of open hand, more like a karate chop hand. Nice ninja karate chop hand. So all the fingers are kind of splayed out and put together. Not splayed out, but standing straight up and right next to each other, kind of like he's about to chop something. Hiya! Get that hiya motion, right? So we've got two of those, and then last but not least, we have the splayed out hands with the fingers kind of spread out and kind of like high five type of hands. So we get those, very nicely painted, nicely detailed. And yeah, so that covers all the hands. And again, I am missing one, but I'm not exactly sure what it would have been, but it looks to be like it might have been one of the kind of gripping or fist hands maybe, because you'll notice even on him, this is how I got him out the packaging, he actually does have two different types of hands on. So he has this slightly more open one right here, and then he has a fully closed fist. So I'm thinking it's the fully closed fist that I'm missing, because I don't see another completely closed fist in the packaging. So I'm guessing that's the one that is missing. But yeah, by process of elimination. But there we go, not a big deal. I can definitely use one of those other gripping hands to substitute as a fist for the other side. All right, and then for the weapons, we've got, pop his sword out here. We of course have the ninja sword, or the Hayate Maru, looking very, very nice. And like these, it blows me away how they're able to get the detail on these things. It's so small, such a small weapon, but they're able to absolutely nail the details and paint on it. It looks fantastic. You can see the gold, the red, the silver, all in the buttons there. And this little part up here that kind of is like a screen and kind of shows them what move is being activated or power up for the sword. Very nice. Even like the black paint going through the silver of the blade there, really, really nicely done. All the way through the back, excellent paint work. Shout outs to SHF for killing it on all of their weapons. for these Ranger figures, man. I love it, absolutely love it. And then we get this one. I forgot the Sentai name for this one, but this is basically like their holster slash gun that they use in Ninja Storm. So, you know, they holster their or sheath their sword into this, the scabbard on their back, and then they can also use it as a double, you know, it's like a double wielding weapon. So they can also turn this into a gun, like some kind of blaster. I forget the exact name for it, but yeah, you do have that. And the cool thing about this is since they give you the handle already like installed into this sheath thing, you can kind of pull this out and disconnect it so that when you have it on their back, like let's say he has his sword in his hand, you can disconnect the handle from the top so that, you know, you have a continuity thing going on, so it doesn't look like his sword is still in his back while he's holding it, because obviously that would make no sense, right? Because he's only got one. But so yeah, that was very clever on SHF's part, that you can just, you know, disconnect that top piece, and obviously it pegs into his back when you want this on there. So yeah, there you go. Very nice and simple, and it plugs back in just like that. So there you go. All right, and then we have his Hawk Blaster or dry gun, which is very, very nicely done. And I always love this weapon, man. I think maybe just because I like birds, I'm a bird person. I've always liked birds since I was little, and this Hawk gun just, you know, or Hawk Blaster I should say, always looked amazing. Really just a dope weapon to me. I love like the fan in here. I love how the rotors are like gold, and yeah, I just always really had a appreciation for this weapon. Just looks badass, man. Head to toe, or head to toe. Doesn't have head, or doesn't have any toes or anything, right? But y'all know what I mean. Very, very nice. And they even got the Hawk logo at the bottom here, at the handle, bottom of the handle where he grips it. So very, very nicely done. That logo is super clean, and yeah, all around just a very, very nice looking weapon. Even got the trigger in there. They got some red paint for the trigger where he pulls it, so very dope. And then last but not least, we have his, this is like, I forget, I thought that maybe this was like a piece for his battleizer, like in the American version. I thought this was like the piece that, you know, first attaches on him before he goes like full battleizer mode. But I actually like looked it up, and the logo is actually different. I think in the American version he has like the normal Hawk symbol that's on his chest on top of this, or I could be wrong, but there is some kind of difference between I think this and what happens in the American show. So this is the Japanese version, and he does actually, I think, wear this in the Sentai, like when he's not even in like a full battleizer mode. He just kind of has this on. I think this is like maybe a power up that he activates before he goes full battleizer. So this is like probably like the mid power up kind of stage. But yeah, he's got this little thing that can attach to the front of his chest, and it comes in two pieces. So you've got this part for the back, and this is the part that attaches to him from the back, and it will, you know, come around his shoulders and under his arms to strap into that first piece that I just showed. But yeah, you can connect those together and have them on him if you want him to look a little more powered up. So very, very cool, man. I like it a whole bunch. And it's just those little things that I really like about the SHF versions of these Power Rangers figures, is that you get a little bit extra with each release compared to the American one. So very, very cool. So now that all the accessories are out of the way, let's go ahead and get our boy up front and center with the camera so we can take a look at him and dive into play and display. So I'm gonna put this back there. So here we have Mr. Red Wind Ranger, or Hurricane Red, back in the picture, and he looks amazing. Now I will say that first off, it looks like the paint might be a little different from the top of his torso compared to, like, you know, from the abs down, as well as his gauntlets. Those appear to be like in a darker red paint than the rest. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that on camera, but I can definitely notice it, you know, looking at him in person. I even kind of noticed it in the packaging that his gauntlets were definitely a darker red than the rest of him, or at least, you know, from here down. So I just wanted to point that out, but it's not too bad, you know. Definitely doesn't like ruin the figure or throw off the look too much, but it is definitely a darker red, so I just want to point that out. But yeah, very, very nice as far as the aesthetics go. They pretty much reused the same body mold for I think all the male figures, like they're more or less the exact same mold. So he's gonna have pretty much the same body as the Go Riders and the Dragon Ranger that I reviewed. But yeah, I mean I like it. I think it's a very good mold for the male characters. So I have no problem with it. I think he looks great. So let's go ahead and get into play and display. So starting with head articulation, he can look up about that far, and there's your side view. I'd say that's pretty good looking up, very decent. Looking back down, you can get him to look all the way down, tucking his head in there. He gets some tilt side to side on that ball peg, very nice tilt, a little nuance attitude posing. And of course you can rotate all the way around. You can see his Adam's apple is sculpted into there on that neck piece, very nice. All right, and we have for the arms, we're able to raise out and up to the side that far. Very good range there, so we can get his arms up pretty high, better than 90 for sure. Back down, we get no bicep swivel, but again they have that type of joint inside the shoulder and under this little cap that lifts up that allows the arm to kind of rotate in and out like that. So does the same thing that a bicep swivel would do without the cut. So very nice innovation for the SH Figuarts figures. And then we have a double jointed elbow that's going to allow him to bend in that far, and it looks really good from the side there. It gets a little more than 90, so that's nice. All right, so we can have his his sword or something like that kind of over his shoulder. We can do a lot of cool poses like that. And then we can rotate the arm 360 all the way around just like that. Just be careful, you might hear it like click a little bit, as you saw when I got up to about like up here. It started to click a little bit. I think that's just because it's kind of running into the cap. So if you hear that clicking, you don't want to like force it past that point, but just kind of be gentle and slowly keep pushing it out of the way, and it should come all the way around there. You can see they even got the paint in the morpher, very nicely done. As small as that morpher is, they got the paint and detail in there, very clean and crisp. Looks awesome. I saw a review, someone pointed out that I guess he is missing like the little hawk logo that is actually supposed to be on top of this little morphing chip. Right now it's just a little red circle. That's fine with me, honestly. Like, that's such a small detail, and I mean it's so small that I'm not even sure that they would have been able to like realistically get it in like clean, like the rest of his logo. So honestly I don't mind that little hawk logo missing there, but the rest of the morpher still looks really great. The gold and the black and the red, very nicely done. And then yeah, so for his torso articulation, he's got a diaphragm joint, a little cut at the top here, so he's able to, that allows him to bend forward about that far, which is decent. Okay, and then leaning back using just that top joint, just a little bit, honestly not a whole lot, but he does have a waist twist and I think another joint, maybe a ball peg down here. So if we combine all of that, he can get a really good bend forward about that far, right? And then using that bottom joint again, bending backwards, we can get him to go about that far. So that's decent. It's not the best range, but it is what it is. SH Figuarts, and you can kind of play around and manipulate it to get it a little more range depending on how you pose them. For the legs, we are on drop down hips, so you can drop these down just like all the other figures, and then out to the side. Should be able to get a pretty decent splits, just about a full splits out of that, maybe just shy of it. But yeah, you can definitely get it out to the side. Very nice. Back down, push those back up, kicking forward. He gets really nice range, and move the arm out the way here. He's able to do a nice high ninja kick there, nice high kick. Hi-ya. All right, and then going back with the leg pulled down a little bit, gets him about that far before it runs into the sculpt. I think that's pretty decent. Very nice range there. Push it back up there. And then we have a double jointed knee, which allows him to bend that far back. So basically to his lower back, just above his belt, the little belt line there. So that looks really good to me. Back down. And then for the feet, we're on a hinge, so he can hinge down all the way on his tippy toes. Can kick up that far before it hits the sculpt right there. Hopefully you can see that. And obviously you can see I kind of unintentionally activated the toe hinge. He does have a toe hinge as well, but yeah, he's able to get his foot coming up that far. And then back down, you have the toe hinge that can go up that far. All right. So got some really good, curl back action, even though most people probably don't get this amount of curl, naturally. And then back down to a flat position. And he does have a twist in the ankle. He has ankle twist or pivot, which, rotates very nicely on the ball peg. And yeah, you can definitely rotate it side to side to get a lot of dynamic motion and stances in there. So that is really, really nice. And I think that pretty much does it for his articulation. Again, yeah, he is able to twist from this top joint a little bit. That diaphragm joint, he can turn side to side. It is a little tight. You might hear a little creaking, but he can do it. And then he also has like a waist twist at the bottom here. If you want to get even more side to side turning, you also have that. So yeah, very, very nice range. What we would expect at this point from SH Figuarts, Power Rangers figures / Super Sentai. So I'm loving it, man. Really, really solid figure. I mean, I've always wanted, the red Wind Ranger from Ninja Storm in my collection, like a show accurate look, not that buff, the buff versions that Bandai did back in the day. I mean, obviously those were cool at the time, but I always wanted something that looked a little more streamlined and show accurate. So this definitely gets the job done. I love it, man. Absolutely love it. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and jump into size comparisons, and we will get on up out of here and get ready for the next review, because I've got some more figures for y'all. All right. So, oh, dang. Sorry, Shane. Sorry, Mr. Shane. What was Shane's last name on the show? Was it Clark or something like that? Shane Clark? I forget his last name, but first name Shane. That's all I know. Last name ever. First name greatest. All right, so there we go. We have Mr. Shane standing there. All right, so y'all can see him, hopefully nice and clear. And for our first size comparison, of course, we're going to get some SH Figuarts. We've got the Go Riders. We've got Navy Thunder on this side, if he's willing to stand straight up. There you go. Thank you, sir. And we've got Crimson Thunder, his red brother on the other side. Brother in color, not actual brother, but you know what I mean. All right, so there he goes with his two Go Rider homies, making the team look strong, man. I really, really like this lineup. I'm honestly trying to complete the whole Ninja Storm team, so I cannot wait to get blue and yellow. They actually come in a 2-pack together, so that'll help me, get those two done, quickly. I won't have to get separate releases for them, so that'll be dope. And it's just a shame, man, that they never made a Green Ranger, Samurai Ranger from SH Figuarts. It's an absolute shame. That's one of the figures that I would really want to see an SH Figuarts figure for, but they never seem to do it. I'm praying and hoping that one day they will. It's never too late, SHF, so if you're watching this, be sure to think about, maybe give some thought to making us a green Samurai Ranger or Shuriken Ranger from the Sentai. But yeah, these guys look great side by side, all three of them. Very, very excited to complete the team as much as I can. Without that green, I guess it'll never truly be complete until we have him. Here he is with the SH Figuarts Dragon Ranger, or Green Ranger from Mighty Morphin. Looking very, very good. You can tell they're all very similar in size, and you'll notice I do have some of their knees bent, some of their knees bent, so they might appear slightly shorter, but they're all basically the same size once I straighten out the knees. But yeah, there's like your next size comparison. For a Marvel Legends comparison, we've got Mr. He Who Remains on this side. All right, so Marvel Legends He Who Remains. He's just a little bit bigger than the Red Ranger there. On the other side, we have a Mafex comparison. We've got the Homecoming Spider-Man version 1.5, and man, I love this figure, man. It's been so much fun playing with this guy. The magnets on him, I have to say, are really, really good. Probably some of the best magnets that Mafex has done, because I've literally had him, stuck to a pole, the pole that I had in my thumbnail for this guy, and I've literally had him up there for like 2 months, and he hasn't even fallen like once off of that thing. So yeah, really strong magnets. So I love this figure so much, man. It's awesome. You can see he's basically the same height as Red here, maybe just slightly taller. This angle, he might look like significantly taller from this angle, but I'll tell you in person, they're actually very, very similar in height. He's just slightly taller than him. But moving these two out of the way. Next we have, let's see, for a Lightning Collection comparison, we've got the Red Dino Thunder Ranger on this side. And I love the crossover episode with these two when they finally, you know, obviously they fought each other first, and then when they teamed up at the end, oh man, badass stuff from Power Rangers. And then we have on the other side for Lightning Collection, the White Dino Thunder Ranger, or Articulation, from the Sentai. So there is your size comparisons with Lightning Collection. All right. And then next up we will get our Black Series comparison. We've got Reva the Third Sister on this side. And then for a Ninja Flash comparison, we've got his Ninja Flash counterpart, Red Wind Ranger from Bandai. And they are pretty much exactly the same height. Again, the SHF figures and the, you know, the old Ninja Flash figures that came out are pretty much exactly in scale. They're both around like 5.5 inches tall. So that should give you some, you know, a good sense of the height between those lines. All right, and let's see here. Last but not least, we'll show them with some villains and henchmen. We've got the Kelzak Fury here from that same Ninja Flash line, and we have Lothor on his opposite side. We got Lothor from the same line. So there you go. Yeah, man. Let's see. Any last quick comparisons? I guess I'll throw in very, very quickly. We've got G.I. Joe from Hasbro. We've got Snake Eyes right here. This is from the Snake Eyes Origins movie. And then we have the Jazzwares Cyclo figure right here. If I can get him to stand, he's a little tricky. Might just have to hold him up. Okay, there we go. So let's see, get a little light on all three of them. And you can see, obviously, Cyclo, thought he was about to fall right there. Cyclo is definitely the tallest out of, you know, all the you know, these three and pretty much all the ones that I reviewed so far. He definitely kind of towers over the rest, but there you go. I think that should do it for some size comparisons today for this guy. So yeah, very, very awesome figure, man. I absolutely love it. Yeah, it's just a very, very great looking figure. I guess before we go, I'll see really quickly if I can get at least his sword in his hand so we can see him posed up with a weapon. So I'm gonna lay him down real quick right here. See if I can get the ninja sword at least in his hand. And it's nice that he already has one of his gripping hands in. So let's see if I can slide it in there. Let's see, slide that in there just like that. If I can turn it this way, there we go. Alright, so there we go. So I've got his sword in his hand. And let me see if I can get, let's see, maybe the Hawk Blaster. Actually, no, I'll leave the Hawk Blaster aside for now, just so the video doesn't go too long with me fiddling with things. But let's see, let me see if I can get him in a nice, at least dynamic pose with the sword before we head out. Nice kind of cool stance for him. Let's see, let's move the camera back just a bit here. All right, so let's see if I can get him standing up. Excuse me. All right, so there you go. And wow, look, very, very easy. Look how quickly I was able to actually nail that pose. That's actually very nice. It's one thing about SHF that I absolutely love, man. They're very easy to get into a pose and they hold it well. They're engineered to be kind of light, but also still feel very premium and, you know, hold stances very, very well. So there you go. I got him in a nice, cool pose there with his sword as we head out here. And yeah, I think he looks awesome. Look at that. Nice ninja stance. Oh man, I mean, he would have looked even more badass if I had the Hawk Blaster in his hand, but you know, I won't waste too much time because we we got other reviews to get to, man. But yeah, overall awesome figure. Absolutely love it. SHF, you killed this. I'll probably give it like I'll say a 9.5 out of 10, only because just because of the differences in the red. I mean, again, I don't think it necessarily throws the look off. It's just, I think, consistency is usually a better thing when it comes to figures, but it doesn't look bad at all. Again, it just kind of looks like, a darker red, or maybe some type of heavy shading was used in certain parts of the figure. And it's kind of like inconsistent because it's only really in this top portion and then his gauntlets. But I mean, other than that, he looks very, very solid, and he's a great figure. Most people probably won't even really notice the reds too much, especially after a while of like handling and playing with it. So yeah, really, really solid figure. I absolutely love it. Very, very excited to finally have it for my SHF collection, and he's gonna look great with the rest of my Lightning collection figures as well. Cause freaking Hasbro hasn't made any of the Ninja Storm figures for the Lightning collection as of yet. So, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys very much for watching this somewhat lengthy review. I know how they go, but you know how I do. You know how it gets down. This is your boy BioSparta 3.0. Big thank you again to PVJ Collectibles for providing me with this figure. Love it, absolutely love it. And I will see you guys in the next review coming in a few minutes. So peace. Thanks for watching.